So picture this. In the beautiful, lush hills of Idukki, a really serious problem was growing. Farming, the very lifeblood of the community, was starting to fade. People were leaving their land empty, the younger generation just wasn't interested in farming anymore, and the whole future of local agriculture was on the line. It was a real crisis, and it needed a bold solution. And that solution, it came from an incredible new group, a collective with a name that means the female voice of Idukki. So let's dive into this amazing story of community, resilience, and transformation. So, what really happens when a community decides to grab its future with both hands? We're going to start by looking at exactly why this change was so desperately needed, and more importantly, who stepped up to make it all happen. So, who is behind all this? Well, get this. The company that formed to tackle these huge challenges was made up almost entirely of women. We're talking about a remarkable 95% of its members being women farmers. This right here is Spezia Idukki. It's what's known as a farmer-producer company, or an FPC, and it was started back in 2022. The idea at its core is actually pretty simple, but it's so powerful. Instead of just selling their raw crops for low prices, these farmers decided to work together to process, brand, and market their very own products. And we're not talking about a small group either. This is a community of 692 members, all of them united by one common goal: to bring agriculture back to life in their region and build a stable, sustainable future for their families.
Okay, so how did they do it? How did this huge group get organized and turn a powerful idea into a business that's actually thriving? This next part is all about their strategy and how they built it from the ground up.
They really did build this from scratch. First, they organized 50 different women's groups spread out across 14 areas in Idukki. This network was key. It let them collect produce right from their own members, which meant they could guarantee quality and fairness. From there, they started creating their own products, which then created stable jobs for 12 people and part-time work for 30 others. And wow, just look at the results of all that hard work. You can see the incredible variety right here. Everything from spices and preserves to different flours and drinks. These aren't just raw crops anymore. They're professionally packaged, high-quality products, all ready for the market.
Now, creating great products is one thing, but building the entire infrastructure to support a growing business, that's a whole different level of challenge. Let's take a look at how they did it, because this is where their ambition really starts to shine.
I absolutely love this comparison. It tells their entire story in just two pictures. On the left, you've got their agro nursery, the very beginning of the whole cycle. And on the right, the final product, perfectly arranged in a modern store. This is that seed-to-shelf journey, and they control every single step. To manage all their operations, they built this, the Mega Collection Center. Think of it as the central hub where all the produce from all 692 members is gathered. It's a real testament to their scale and their professional approach to logistics.
And right next to collection, you've got processing. This is their very own pack house. Owning a facility like this is an absolute game changer. It means they control the quality every step of the way, from sorting and cleaning all the way to packaging and labeling.
And here we have their official storefront. Now, what's really important here is that they're an official agency for Agro, which is the government's own brand of agricultural products. I mean, that is a massive stamp of approval and gives them a direct channel straight to customers.
So what does all this infrastructure actually produce? Over 60 different value-added products. Just think about that for a second. They've taken local staples, things like spices, banana, jackfruit, coffee, and transformed them into this huge, diverse product line that people really want.
The result of all this hard work? An annual turnover of roughly 20 to 30 lakh rupees. And this isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. This represents real economic impact, money that's flowing directly back into the hands of those 692 farmer families in their community.
Of course, a story this incredible is never a straight line. Behind all the impressive growth and the beautiful products, there are some really significant struggles.
And these obstacles were huge. They faced a serious lack of working capital since they're mainly marginal farmers. Government payments, while helpful, were often late, which created major cash flow problems. They had to fight through all sorts of red tape just to get licenses. And like a lot of small producers, figuring out marketing and distribution was a constant uphill battle.
But despite all those challenges, Spezia Idukki isn't just focused on surviving. They are absolutely focused on thriving. Their vision for what comes next is even more ambitious than everything they've already accomplished.
Their goals are so clear and inspiring. They want to achieve sustainable development for every single one of their members. They're looking to take their products global and start exporting. A huge part of their mission is to bring poison-free, high-quality food to a much wider audience. And they plan to bring in integrated farming techniques to make the entire local economy even stronger.
You know, the story of Spezia Idukki leaves us with this really powerful question. It shows us what's truly possible when a group of determined women reclaim their agricultural heritage and decide not just to feed their own community, but to share their harvest with the entire world. It's a blueprint for a more sustainable, more equitable future, built one seed at a time.